Hi, I'm Carol Tiger of Mvskoke Catering and Cooking with Traditional Foods. Today I'm going to share with you making sofke and sour cornbread, and our surprise dish will be salt pork. The first recipe that I will start off with is the sofke drink that is made with hominy corn. It is usually served at many gatherings. The ingredients that I use are sofke, water, lye, and a crock pot. The crock pot is about an 8-quart crock pot. The process that I go through to get the corn ready is that I separate the hulls from the good corn because it's ground up. The hominy is ground. So what I do is make sure that all the hulls and the good corns are separated from each other. So that usually you can tell by the dark ones and the ones that didn't crack or whatever. After sorting the sofke from the hulls to the good corn, I have a 2-cup measuring cup, and then I'll add another cup to that. And then I put it in the bowl, and as I'm getting ready to wash the corn, I usually keep running water through it until the water comes clear. And some of the hulls that maybe I had missed, they're real small, they come to the top. But as a long time ago when the elder women used to do sofke, I remember seeing them where they had their own screen pan, and they would toss it up in the air to get some of those hulls out of there by air, and then they would wash it. That was an old system that they used to use. I tried to do it one time, and I lost a lot of corn because I didn't know what I was doing. It was okay, but it was just something I wanted to try and see if it worked. In my crock pot, I usually make sure that the water's almost to the top, because it does take a lot of water as it cooks down, and I put the temperature on high and keep it covered and cook it at least 4 to 5 hours to make sure that it's cooking. It's like a slow process on the cooking part, but even on high, it's not really boiling, it's just high heat, and it just takes time to do it. After 4 to 5 hours of cooking your corn, usually it's kind of tender, to add your lye, and I usually add that after that, about a 1/3 cup or a little bit less, or depending on what kind of lye you're using. Sometimes it's stronger and sometimes it's not as strong, but that's the process. And then I let it cook another 3-4 hours to let the lye cook into the corn. After it's done and tender, and then it's cooked for more than several hours, I usually add, to taste it, I usually get my cup and add sugar to make it a little sweet. A lot of people don't use sugar, but I grew up tasting it that way, and that's how my family use sugar too. And also too, that when I'm done, and I usually take it to church, and if there's anything left, I let people take what they want. And if I have more than to take home, well, then I share it with my elders that are not able to get out and come to church, or that they don't cook it anymore. A lot of the elders don't cook that much anymore, and so I usually take it around in my pint jars and hand it out. So that's usually my goal, to anything to give out. That's what I do. What is sofke is a ground up corn from hominy that is dried, and it's usually real hard to cook real fast, so you really have to take your time in making that type of corn. Usually it's cooked with meat, hominy and meat. We make several dishes with hominy, and the ground corn is usually what the sofki is for the drink. That a lot of women still don't make it, but some do, and it just takes time to do it. And what is lie is that you have to know who still makes it, and it's usually the darker lye is the stronger lye. The lighter lye is kind of light, but it all depends on who knows who to make it and how. After a while, it does take time to make that for people that do make lye. And I usually buy it at used to have a warehouse market in Okmulgee, and they kind of changed over to New Coxsaver grocery store, and they still had put it out. So it's a buying it by pound. So every time I go up there, I usually try to buy a pound at a time just to keep on hand, because several people do ask me if I make it. And I learned how to make it by just practicing, see if it would something I would like. And I like sofki anyway, and all my kids like sofki. My grandkids like sofki. But when I tried to, my uncle used to make it all the time, and he was known for his sofki. And so I kept trying to get him to taste mine, and finally I made it where he said it was right. So that's how I kept learning how to make it. It was practicing, cleaning, and cooking it, and making sure it tasted good. The next recipe that we're going to do is the Taklik-kvmokse sour cornbread. The ingredients I have is white rice, water, flour, baking powder, and white cornmeal, and a large bowl with a lid. The first process that I go through is that I use 8 cups of water to half a cup of white rice. I bring it to a boil. Then after it boils just for a few minutes, then I cover it and then let it simmer. The second process is making sure you add 4 cups of flour, 4 cups of white cornmeal, mix them together, and that way you're getting ready to add your cooled rice. At this part right here, when I'm mixing the flour and the cornmeal, I'm going to add the rice mixture that is already cold, and then you mix it well after adding the rice. And then making sure that it's completely moist, then you cover it with your bowl lid. I would put the lid on tightly to cover the mix that will set for 3 to 4 days till it pops up. I check the lid several times to make sure that it's ready to pop. Mine lasted 4 to 5 days. On the 5th day, the lid was popped up. On the second process, I add 4 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. Those are the added to get ready to mix. I mix the batter with a wooden spoon, mix it well, and I was told that when the batter slides off the wooden spoon, it's ready to bake. I use a medium skillet. I coat it with oil or oil spray to keep it from sticking. Heat it to a medium heat where it's not burning, and when it's hot, a little bit hot, I pour 3 ladlefuls of mix and spread it out to the edge of the pan. And then I cover it for about 5 to 6 minutes on each side. The first side, then it looks like a pancake. As the edges are getting a little brown on the edges for me to flip it over, I like to, if I have a little oil in a spoonful, I like to spray it on the top circles or whatever, just to give it a little oil so it won't stick to the bottom of the skillet. And then before I'm flipping it over, then I'll cook it a little bit longer, another 4 to 5 minutes until it's brown. Cover it up. I usually can get 3 to 4 good rounds of cornbread from this recipe. And I usually, if I take it to church or I have anything that's left, then I bring it back and package it and take it to my elders that usually don't get this anymore, or they don't make it anymore. Just they're limited to when they make it. I didn't know how long it took to make sour cornbread. My mom used to get it from a lady that made it, but my mom never made it. So as time went on, we were having big dinners and things like that, and the ladies would say, "Can you make it?" And I said, "Well, I'll have to learn." And the lady that showed me how to make this cornbread process was a lady at church. She wrote it on a napkin for me, told me the process, and so I went by each system that was on that napkin that told me how to make it. And so I've been trying to make sure I go by that recipe all the time. So, and it's a good recipe. I've seen several people make it. And it does take a long, quite a bit of process. It takes at least starting from Tuesday to Saturday, and then you're ready to bake. And I just think it because it has to ferment along the way until it's ready. The last recipe that I have is the bonus recipe, which is Tosēnv salt pork. The ingredients I have is salt pork, water, oil, a pot, and a skillet. I take the salt pork and put it in water that I'm going to boil at least for 2 to 3 minutes to get most of the salt off. Then I get ready to rinse it. Meat has boiled for a few minutes or so. Then I rinse off the salt pork from the boiling water. Get ready to cook. I start off with a cold skillet. Then I put the oil in there that's cold too. And then I lay my meat in the skillet and let it cook on medium heat. As I start cooking the salt meat, I usually let it cook about 3-4 minutes on the first side, and then let it cook, and then come back and turn it again on another side, and usually about 3 or 4 times till it's cooked well. I would just like to say that I hope you like the recipes that we have tried, and that just take time and practice them, and use them to keep using them to learn how to cook them well. And I just feel like that I had to practice quite a bit in order to make my dishes taste good too. So, and I hope you do too. And I want to thank the Tulsa Library for having me to put out these recipes for anybody that wants to use them. I thank you so much. Mado.